So my first question to you, Mr. Murtaza, is I want you to take a step back and assume that we did not undertake any of those course corrections. Where would we be today? I will run to the second question once you're done with that.
Okay, thank you. So, first of all, thank you for inviting me, and I'm a person who reads the Central Bank Annual Report. All kudos for the new physical form factor. It's easier to read, it's smaller, thinner, it doesn't come apart, it's nice colored. Even the PDF version is easy to read on my iPad, and it's good that you put all the tables in an Excel because any analyst can then use it. So, short answer is you would have had anarchy. And anarchy is a state of lawlessness. And why do I say this? So if you recollect, going back to the first quarter of 2022, there was a shortage of everything. So let's examine the factual before we go to the counterfactual. There was a shortage of everything, and the only way that you can have a shortage is that a market is not in equilibrium. Because in a free market, basically what will happen is if there's a shortage, the price will go up and you will have a clearing price and the market will go into equilibrium. So there was complete market failure in almost every market in Sri Lanka, from the forex market to the money market to the real economy. And there was intervention going on in the pricing mechanism, and that's why you had these shortages. So what the actions were taken both by the central bank and the fiscal side and the government is that they allowed prices to play their true role of signaling scarcity. So interest rates were significantly increased because if you money print, and since the government owns the central bank, basically you can give it from one hand and take it back from the other through dividend. So you're distorting the cost of money. And then if the exchange rate is not reflecting the true market forces, then you're artificially keeping it up. Now, I have the benefit of being in the capital market and getting to speak to a lot of companies. And most of the companies said demand was off the charts. So you can take all the figures for that January, February, March, first quarter of 2022. You know, we were experiencing long power cuts, but electricity usage was off the charts in spite of 6, 7, 8 hour power cuts. Right? So the power cuts were happening because the demand was off the charts. And what happened is once we increased the tariffs, of course we had to have a prolonged period of power cuts, etc., and rationing of fuel. But the main, as Adam Smith said so long ago, basically, the hidden hand of the market, the moment you put the prices up, basically the incentive structures dissuaded overconsumption. And so that was what basically the actions that the authorities took. I mean, there were a number of things on liquidity management, on forex, capital control, lots of things. But ultimately, the stabilization happened by allowing the market to reflect the forces of demand and supply. So if you didn't allow that to happen, you would have continued to have shortages. And therefore, economic actors, instead of focusing on doing their work or producing, would have been running around looking for essentials. Everybody would have been distracted. And you would have had basically a domino effect that would have catalyzed through the economy. So what would have happened is not only weak and bad companies would have died, but good companies also would have died. Right? And the damage that would have been done. So it's like, think about an athlete, right? You get an injury, you need to take a break. If you go on aggravating the injury, you will get a much greater injury and you can't repair yourself. So if these actions were not taken at the time, and they were aggressive actions that were taken basically, that's how the damage was repaired and we came back faster. So there has been a stabilization, but I think I will have an opportunity to say that we are certainly not on the wood. And that we as just as much as we can celebrate that we had a stabilization sooner than all predictions are, there is no reason for relaxing.